Life of a Job Seeker. Joe Cook.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, thank you for your time. Notice that the stiffest tree is most easily cracked, while the bamboo or willow survives by bending with the wind. That is a quote from Bruce Lee. In my life in this past year, it's been a turmoil event. From last October till now, I went from a job that I've been with for 9.5 years to a job that I wanted just to do a career change and stay in the area, to getting laid off, to being a job seeker. So that's a lot to happen in 1 year. And because, my life with the Scouts, as it began, I came out of it right out of college. It had its own culture. It was sort of like being enclosed and you were sheltered away from the rest of the world and how the business really was. Then I moved on to go work for First Merit 9.5 years later, just because I wanted to transition to stay in the area and I was getting burned out. Well, I went to a sales job, and that didn't work out so well. I realized I'm not a full-time salesman. I'm more of an operations service guy. I like to be behind the scenes solving problems, not creating them. And because of that, and 3 months later, I got laid off. I didn't even make it past the probationary period because of a difference in personality with the organization. So I realized something about myself. I realized that I had developed a personality that was not conducive to the way the rest of the world worked. It was a scouting mentality. It was a nonprofit, run your own type of business type mentality, because that's the way you were. You had to be your own person when you worked for the Boy Scouts of America. You ran your own division. You were in charge of so many people and had to make things happen. Not so much when you're just a lonely peon in the retail banking system. So, where do I go from here? My confidence is shot at this point. Because you get laid off, you wonder, well, what did I do wrong? Am I going to be able to do well in the next job, or is this going to happen again? So you suffer a major confidence blow when you're laid off at this point. But there's a lot of people out there going through the same thing, which doesn't make it any easier because you're competing against them, but it doesn't make it any less hard because you do have people to talk to who understand your situation. There are groups out there that I started attending, and I learned how to conduct a proper job search. I also went back and talked to some former coworkers and managers that gave me evaluation feedback on what kind of direction I should go in. Because at this point, I was wondering what should I do for a living. So from all that, I decided to go back towards my roots, which I did in college, which is information technology. And in that, I restarted my master's program, which I'm currently finishing up and almost done in about 3 months. And I went back and took a programming course just to bring my programming technical skills up to date to make myself more marketable. That still doesn't make the job search any easier because you go through highs and lows, peaks and valleys. But through confidence and through that understanding, you're able to grow, you're able to figure out new situations, figure out kind of a focus and direction on what you're supposed to do. So I think through all the job interviews and through what I'm doing, I know kind of the direction I'm headed in. But where am I headed? Only God knows my true destiny. I'm a firm believer that God lays out a path for you and you need to follow it and figure it out, because that's how you're only going to truly find joy in this life. But in doing that, you have to stumble and you have to figure out your way. You have to figure out how you're going to get there. That's our responsibility. And that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm at that point where I've got the direction. So now God just needs to open some doors, and with that, I'll find a job soon. And that's been the struggle. Keep a positive mentality and keep going. What is this word? Sanguine, the optimist. So keep that going, and you can do well in life. So thank you very much for your time.